Ergonomics in Poultry Processing, produced by Adrian Fernandez, Justin Blumenstrath, and Graham Nelson. Poultry processing is defined as the conversion of live poultry, or chicken, into poultry products available for human consumption. The United States has the largest poultry industry in the world. There are about 200 production plants around the country. Poultry processing also has a large workforce of over 300,000 direct employees. These employees do a variety of tasks such as cutting, deboning, and packaging the chickens. The poultry processing industry is also one of the most dangerous industries there is in regards to occupational illnesses. The incidence rate of injuries for poultry workers is 5 times the national average. In 2012 alone, there were over 3,600 cases that required days from work.
An effective approach to reducing the risk of the development of musculoskeletal diseases, or MSDs, is to identify some of the primary risk factors associated with these injuries. These risk factors can include repetition, which is the act of performing the same motion or series of motions continually, which can be affected by the speed of a conveyor belt or the number of workers available to do the job. Forceful exertion, which is the amount of physical effort needed to perform a demanding task, such as heavy lifting, hanging birds, and pulling off the skin. Awkward and static postures, assuming positions that may place stress on the body, such as reaching above shoulder height, leaning over a work table, twisting the torso, or maintaining a sustained posture for a long period of time. Cold temperatures, in combination with these other factors, may increase the risk of injury, as many of the tasks performed in poultry processing occur with a chilled product or in a cold environment.
Poultry production workers are getting inflicted with numerous types of injuries. One of the most prevalent is carpal tunnel syndrome, caused by the repeated hand manipulation involved in tasks like cutting, washing, and deboning. Shoulder injuries are very common because of the awkward postures needed for cutting, and other musculoskeletal injuries occur as a result of accidents with heavy machinery and falls on the slippery floors due to constant spraying of birds and cleaning. And for the employees constantly handling knives, accidental lacerations are a constant hazard. The fast, repetitive work and sometimes overcrowding makes cutting yourself very easy.
Many poultry processors have found administrative solutions that can be used to combat the risk for injury. Some of these solutions include instituting a maintenance program to ensure knives and other cutting tools are sharp, since the use of dull equipment can result in workers having to apply more force than necessary to complete the task. Using a rotating schedule to address high-risk tasks. Job rotation may help alleviate physical fatigue and stress to a particular muscle or muscle group. Allow breaks to rest fatigued muscles. Cross-train employees to accommodate peak production and breaks. OSHA also recommends that employers train their employees on proper tool use, good cutting techniques, and proper lifting techniques.
Many poultry processors have successfully implemented engineering solutions in order to minimize injury risks. The solutions presented in this video involve tools and workstations. In order to avoid injuries, the workers should consider the principles of hand tool design, one of them being that the tool should be bent, not the wrist. This helps keep the hand perpendicular to the line of work in order to avoid awkward wrist positions. The handle should also be designed and selected to avoid tissue compression stress. This means that the handle should extend across the entire hand. This helps prevent the restriction of blood flow through the arteries and also avoid pressure on small parts of the fingers, which leads to trigger finger. When selecting a tool, it is important to understand how the tool is supposed to be used and think of scenarios where the tool could be misused, possibly causing injuries to the workers. For certain processes that involve vibration or cold temperatures, the worker should use a handle that prevents the transmission of them to the hand. The texture of the handle should also improve the grip in order to reduce hand force. Many semi-automated systems are designed to allow the worker alternate hands. A hoist system is recommended to load rolls of plastic film. Field bags may be automatically closed. Seats, stools, and backrests should not result in extended reaching or bending. Chairs should be adjustable to accommodate for tasks and the size of the worker. Stools should have a fixed base so that it does not move unintentionally. and backrest is a type of leaning device that is independent back support without a seat. It is stationary, stable, and heat adjustable. It should provide adequate support for both the upper and lower back. In order to avoid shoulder abduction, it is recommended to incorporate a proper workstation height that fits the worker. This helps prevent excessive forward bending, improves comfort by reducing wrist deviation. Tilting the cutting block can reduce bending of the wrist. Also, a lower input and takeaway from the conveyor can help reduce reaching above shoulder height. Shoulder abduction over 20 degrees can increase muscle fatigue.